Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Detroit Tigers franchise as we are all set to kick off season number 3 here. And as you can see, we are projected to finish third in the AL Central this year. Let's see if we can't do a little bit better than that. Now, one thing I've been forgetting to show is the top 50 prospects list, so I wanted to show that here, as Alejandro Zepeda for the Cubs is the number 1 prospect, and he's actually in the MLB, so he won't be up there for much longer. So we're looking for some Tigers here. Number 7 is Miguel Montano, so he is way up there in the first couple seasons. So we're going to scroll down a little bit farther, and we come across that number 24 is Merle Sanchez. And he's the only other Tiger on the list, but we do have 2 in the top 25. So let's look at our lineups here, and this is how we're going to line up on the most days. Reyes, Ozuna, and Castro are our top 3, followed by Candelario, Nunez, and Bradley Jr., and they are followed by Montez, Hernandez, and Durant. On our bench, we have Griner, Gonzalez, and making the team out of spring training is Bryant Packard. So we have some youth on our bench, which is really good to see, and we'll have to see how these guys perform, and we'll see what happens from here. Now let's look at our rotation, as Spencer Turnbull is banged up he's day-to-day, so when he comes back, he'll take over Fulmer's spot. But we have Wentz, Mize, Manning, Fulmer, and Smiley. And then in our bullpen, we have Alexander, Turnbull, which, like I said, Fulmer and Turnbull will switch spots. Then we have Funkhauser, Ernest Cabrera, Nick Goody, Gregory Soto, Joe Jimenez, and then taking the closing spot again is Michael Aoki. And we will start this season off with a little interleague play as we will face off against the Chicago Cubs. Joey Wentz gets the opening day start, and he will be going against Kyle Hendricks for the Cubs. So let's get this season underway opening day, as we will be starting on the road here at Wrigley Field. So, Victor Reyes stands in for first at-bat of the season. 2-1 count, hits a ball to right field. Does this have the carry? And it does not, as the right fielder makes a catch just before the warning track, and that will be out number 1. So, Benito Ozuna stands in for his first at-bat as the Tiger, and he will chase strike 3. The play will be made at first, and that will be the second out. Now, Willie Castro, who we're hoping he has a really good year for us, really lead the way. 0-1 count. Chopper down to the third base line, but that will be fielded by Chris Bryant as he throws on to first, and that ends the top half of the first. So on to the bottom half. Joey Wentz starts against Nico Horner here. He is first pitch swinging and sends one to left field. Jackie Bradley Jr. gets a little turnaround but recovers to make the play. Next up, Chris Bryant. And he will also be first pitch swinging here as he sends a line drive out to right field, and that will drop in front of Ozuna as he lets it drop to make the play, and they have their first base runner. Next up, Trevor Story now on the Cubs, bouncer down the third base line, fielded by Candelario on to second, on to first, and that will be an inning-ending double play for the Tigers. Now on to the bottom of the second, and I just realized Wentz got through that first inning in only 3 pitches as Ian Happ comes up to bat, and he will line out to center field, and that's 4 outs in 4 pitches. So next up, Carlos Santana, 0-2 count, and he will hit a ball on the ground to third base, fielded by Candelario, thrown on to first for the second out. Next up, Rodney Presley, 0-2 count again, and he will strike out. That will be Wentz's first of the season, and will get him out of the second inning. So on to the top of the third with 1 out. Sean Durant will stand in to bat. 0-1 count, line drive, left center field, and that one's trouble as that gets deep, and that will one-hop the wall. Sean Durant will hustle into second, and he will get himself a double to lead off the inning. So that'll bring up Joey Wentz, and he's going to lay down a bunt here. Sean Durant will get it to third, and Joey Wentz is just thrown out by about a step. That brings us to 2 outs, but our top of the lineup is up to hit, so we thought that was an okay risk. As Victor Reyes stands in, 2-2 count, hard hit ball, but right at the second baseman, and they will get out of this inning with no runs scored. So we'll move on to the bottom of the third. Chad Pinder up to bat, 1-2 count, and he's going to hit a ball to right center. This one is trouble as that gets down. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. Ozuna will get there, pick it up, and throw it in and hold the runner at second, but they also have themselves a lead-off double, but they have no outs. So we're in a bit of a jam here. Cole Roeder comes up. Full count. Deep ball to center field. Victor Reyes will race back to make the catch, but it's deep enough the runner will tag up and advance to third with only one out. So that'll bring up the pitcher Kyle Hendricks. 0-2 count, and he's going to send a blooper to right field, but Nunez will be able to make the catch for the second out, and we're at 1 out away from getting out of this jam as the top of the lineup comes up again. 0-0 count. Yanni Hernandez with that excellent speed will make the play and throw it on to first to get us out of our own little jam and to keep the game tied at 0. On to the bottom of the fourth with the meat of the lineup coming up. Chris Bryant will lead it off. He's looking at a 2-2 count, and he will swing through strike number 3, and he will be the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Trevor Story. He's looking at a 1-1 count in the pitch, and he lines the third base and snagged in the air by Candelario. That will be out number 2. Next up, Ian Happ, 1-2 count, and he will also swing over the top of strike 3, and that will end the 4th inning. So now on to the bottom of the 5th. Rodney Presley stands in with 1 out in the inning, and he launches the ball to left field, and that one is gone. The Cubs will take a 1-0 lead on that home run. So on to the top of the 6th. Wentz leading off. 2-2 count. Sends the ball to left field, and that one will drop in there. So Wentz comes up and helps himself a little bit, gets on base, and that also will be his first hit of his major league career. But he is a pitcher, so that don't happen too often. Now, Victor Reyes stands in again. Line drive to right field, but right at the right fielder as he just misses another base hit to right field. So that'll bring up Ozuna here. 1-1 count. He's going to send a ground ball back up the middle into center field, so we will have 2 men on with only 1 out. That'll bring up Willie Castro, and he's going to send a ground ball to the right side, fielded by the second baseman, but he cannot turn 2 as he has to go to the first for the out, so we will have 2 outs. That'll bring up Candelario, and he is actually going to get intentionally walked here by the manager, so that will load the bases, but there is 2 outs. So that brings up Nunez, who has some pop in his bat, but here he will just bounce out to the pitcher, who throws on to home for the force out, and that will get them out of the 6th. Now, on to the top of the 7th. Things are starting to get a little dicey here as Jackie Bradley Jr. comes up to bat, and that ball's booted by the second baseman, and Bradley will run it out to beat the throw and get on. That'll bring up Hernandez now, who lays down a bunt to get the runner up to second. But with his speed, he is able to beat out the throw. So that's the element Hernandez brings. We went for the sacrifice, but ended up with 2 men on. So that'll bring up Sean Durant now. 1-0 count. He bounces out to Chris Bryant, who will tag Bradley Jr. and throw on to first for the double play. We still have a man on second here, so let's see what we can do. We end up pinch hitting for Gonzalez. I wanted to let Wentz pitch some more, but we needed the offense, but Gonzalez will bounce out to the shortstop. So on to the bottom of 7th as Nick Goody is the first reliever to start this year, and he is going to get a strikeout there on Ian Happ, which will bring up Carlos Santana. 1-2 count, and Candelario will have to run back a little bit as he was in the shift, but he will get underneath and make the play for out number 2. So that'll bring up Rodney Presley, who had the home run earlier, and he is going to sky out to center field as Victor Reyes camps underneath to make the catch and end the inning. So we do end up seeing Zepeda here, the number 1 prospect on the first day of the season, as he comes in for a save opportunity. And he will start off against Candelario. 0-2 count, line drive to right field, but once again, just right at the right fielder, and that will be out number 1. And that'll bring up Nunez now. First pitch swinging, hard hit ball to left field. Does it have enough? And it does not, as that bounces off the wall. But Nunez is hustling, and he gets into second and gets into scoring position with only 1 out. So that'll bring up Bradley Jr. now. Full count, deep ball to center field. Can this get over the center fielder's head? No, it does not, but it is deep enough for Nunez to tag up, and he will advance to third, so he'll be 90 feet away as a tie and run. Hernandez stands in as our last chance, first pitch swinging, and he gets just underneath of this one as the right fielder makes the play again, and the Cubs take the first game of the season by a score of 1-0. And now look at this. This is something we need to work on. We had 7 hits. We just never got the timely hit. But Joey Wentz does pick up the loss. He went 6 innings and only allowed that 1 home run. We need some better offense going forward. We need someone to step up and get the big hits that we need, as we just got nothing this game. So we ended up losing the second game of the series, 7-6, as Spencer Turnbull got the start there as he came back from the injury. So we have to win this game to avoid an early season sweep, as Casey Mize will take the mound. And here he is, 0-2 count on Chris Bryant, who leads off the game, and he's going to send a ball pretty well hit to center field, but that will be basically right at Victor Reyes as he takes a few steps back and makes the catch for the out. Next up, David Body, 0-1 count, and he's going to pop out to shortstop as Willie Castro readjusts and makes the catch for out number 2. Now that'll bring up Trevor Story, 1-2 count, and he's going to send a ball to left field. This one's maybe trouble, but Ozuna will run it down, and that will end the first. So we're going to jump ahead all the way to the top of the 4th. 1 out, Willie Castro up to bat, and he puts a good swing on a ball deep to left center. Does it have enough? And it does! Willie Castro goes yard, his first of the year, 386 feet to left center, and the Tigers are going to take a 1-0 lead on that swing of the bat. So we're going to move on to the bottom of the 4th now, 1 out count. Chris Bryant leading it off, and he is going to waste no time getting that run back as he goes deep to left field, 1-1. So still bottom of the 4th, 2 outs. Casey Mize trying to get out of this inning. Ian Hatt up to bat, and he will fly out to left, but the Cubs do tie the ball game. Now on to the bottom of the 5th. A fast inning here for Mize would be great, and he's going to get Jock Peterson to bounce out to Candelario, who's playing basically shortstop there because of the shift, and that'll be 1 out. Now Carlos Santana up to bat, 0-2 count, and he's going to send a shallow line drive to center field, but that will be ran down by Reyes, and that'll be the second out. Travis Shaw stands in the bat now, 0-1 count, and he is going to hit a pitch deep dead center, and that will be gone. The Cubs will jump out to a 2-1 lead. So on to the bottom of the 6th now as the pitcher Jose Quintana stands in the bat, 2-1 count. Ground ball up the middle, fielded by Willie Castro, but he makes a bad throw at first, and the runner will be safe on the error as he pulls him off the bag. So now Chris Bryant stands in again, 1-0 count, line drive to center field, and that will get down just in front of Reyes, so that will be 2 men on with nobody out. Next up, David Body, 1-0 count, line drive caught by Nunez at first, but the runner will get back to first, so that will only be 1 out. Now, Trevor Story's up, 2-2 count, and he will chase strike 3 as that was the 9th pitch of that at bat. We finally get him, 2 outs. Now, Ian Happ, 1-2 count, line drive to the left field, and that will get down as that bounces off the wall. Ozuna will field it. 1 run will come to score, but the runner from first isn't stopping. We throw it home, and we are able to get him out. And that was just a boneheaded play there by Chris Bryant, and we will keep this game within 2. It's 3-1 Cubs. So we're going to jump all the way to the bottom of the 8th. Joe Jimenez up pitching now against Robert Presley, and he will send a ball to the right side of the infield as the leadoff man will be on. So next up is Nico Horner, 0-2 count, and he's going to send a ball to right center. Gonzalez ranging back, and he will make the catch in deep right center. The runner will retreat back to first. Now, top of the lineup up, Chris Bryant is again, and he will send a line drive to right field, so they have 2 men on with 1 out. As that brings up David Body, 3-1 count, and he will look at a questionable strike or ball 4 as that loads the bases with only 1 out. As Trevor Story comes up to bat again, and he will look at strike 3 on a back foot slider, 2 outs. So can Ian Happ come through for them again? Ground ball up the middle, just over Jimenez, fielded by Castro, and this time a good throw at first gets the runner, and that will end the 8th. So on to the ninth. Willie Castro will lead us off. Hard hit ball, but this one's going to be right at the second baseman, who fields it and throws on to first for the first out, which will bring up Candelario, who's also first pitch swinging here. Hard hit ball just past the first baseman, and he'll get on to single and will bring the tie-in run up to the plate. And that will be Renato Nunez, who will strike out on a low pitch, and that is Zepeda's first major league strikeout. So now there's 2 outs. That'll bring up Sean Durant now. 0-1 count, chopper up the middle, and that gets through. The tie-in run gets on base. So we have a chance to do some damage here as Gonzalez stands in as a winning run. 2-2 count, but this will be a chopper back to the mound as Zepeda comes off and makes the play at first, and the Cubs will sweep the Tigers to open the year 3-1. And this is just another look at our hits. Like, we had 8 hits, but we only have 1 run on a solo home run. We have got to get better at that. We've got to, when we have people on base, which we had plenty of, we have got to be able to score and keep innings alive. And so the Tigers are going to open this season on a disappointing note, getting swept by the Chicago Cubs. And really, they're all close games that we could have, gone either way, but we just didn't have the RBIs to win. Like, we did score 6 runs in the second game. We were shut out in the first and only scored 1 in the third. So we just got to be better. I feel like we do have a little bit of a younger team this year, hitting wise. So hopefully that will be, better as the season progresses and as they get more comfortable. But it's still unfortunate. We still got swept. It's something we didn't want to see. We wanted to, start off this season on a strong foot. But there's, still plenty of season left. This is obviously only 3 games out of 162. So we have over 150 left. So we will get better, I'm hoping, as it goes. But that's going to do it here. I hope you guys liked this video. And if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. And we will check you guys next time here on Cardboard Cutouts.